Hey guys, Dave Darren here. Tonight's topic is a little bit different. I'm not going to be as angry or mean as I've been lately about liberals and about Democrats and about communism. I'm not going to get into Biden, who I call prick-elect reject Biden. By the way, they're having a new sandwich at McDonald's for the prick-elect president, and it is called the McPrick sandwich. There's no meat in it, only lettuce and ketchup. That's all that's in that sandwich, guys. But tonight I'm going to talk about economics. Your liberal economics, redistribution of the wealth, versus conservative, competitive economics. I was going to say electronics because I'm busy doing electronics these days. Conservative, competitive economics, work harder, make more. So you get to see my happy face now, right? So let me just give you, there's no one listening now, so hopefully some people will trickle upon this later on. I'm only going to talk about 15 minutes here or so and take up that much time tonight. But think about economics, think about liberal economics. They want to distribute the wealth. And if you remember Obamacare, look at this head of hair. Gee, I just took a shower, so my hair is all frizzed up. But think about Obamacare, and I thought about it when it came into play. Obamacare was a redistribution of wealth across the health network. And that's what Obamacare was. And I got online back when it started, and I was paying $340 a month for my health insurance, which has gone up since then, but I was paying $340 a month. I looked at healthcare.gov is what it was, I believe. I got on healthcare.gov and I would have seen my rates if I took that abomination of Obamacare would have gone up to $1,140 a month versus my $340 a month, or I think it was $1,170 a month. Close to $1,200 a month for Obamacare that I was paying $340 a month for. Could I have afforded it? Yes, I could have. Did I want to afford it? No, I didn't want to afford it. Did I purchase it? Absolutely not. I did not purchase it. But that's what it was a redistribution of wealth to support a person that could afford the high price of health care, $1,100, $1,200 worth of health care, so that I could offset the people that couldn't afford it so that they could pay zero for their health care. That is a redistribution of wealth across the health network. That's what it was. I didn't participate in that. Free college for everybody. Who's going to pay for that? It's a redistribution of wealth. The people that are in business who are making a boatload of money, according to you guys, and you just want to redistribute their wealth so everyone that is less enfranchised than they are gets the benefit of the freebies that is on the backbone of everyone else is making a whole shitload of money. Now just think about it from this perspective. Who are the people that are going to contribute to your redistribution of wealth? It's the people like me that are in their 60s and their 55s to 60 to 65 years old who are making enough money that you can suck the money from them to pay for your freebies. That's basically what it was. It's not the guys that need the money, need the freebies. It's the guys that have enough money to offset the freebies that you desire via your liberal education and your liberal social programs. Let's think about it this way. And I thought about this. Think about a guy like me, a project manager, who goes to work and he's self-employed, and we make about $60 an hour. I've got a contract now, and this will piss you guys off, making $88 an hour because I am a senior level project manager who desires to make what he's worth. And that's going to piss some of you guys off too. There's some guy making $90 an hour. Consider lawyers who make $180 an hour to $250 an hour, depending on their skill level and their clients and their desire to be hired by people that need the professionalism that they offer to get them off the hook for the murders that they committed, being Black Lives Matter terrorists. All right, so not to get on the Black Lives Matter terrorist bullshit again, which is not bullshit, it's real. But just think about it this way. Just think about the guy making $60 an hour, and just think about the guys that he supports from his weekly paycheck. The amount of money that comes out of his $60 an hour, it pretty much pays for probably a couple people making about $20 an hour. At minimum wage is what, $17.50 an hour? And just think about that from the McDonald's or Burger King employee making $17.50 an hour. And just think about the guy making about $28 an hour, maybe working Amazon or working for APS, which is our electric company, or SRP, making like $28 an hour. So let's round it off to $20 an hour. So here's a guy like me making $60 an hour. My money that I make, the taxes I pay in, support the benefits and the social programs that currently exist for the guy making $20 an hour. So say there's two of those guys. So take a $100 bill, say I'm getting 60 bucks out of it, and the other two guys are making 20 bucks out of it, equals $100, right? Now take your redistribution of wealth that liberals want to participate in and want to take away from the guy making $60 an hour to redistribute it. So say, I'm doing this pre-tax, by the way, because if you take $60 an hour, my percentage of taxes is probably about 25%. It's not 34% because since I'm self-employed, I get the ability to take tax benefits and all that out of my 34%, and I'm in a tax bracket of 25%, which is why everyone hates Donald Trump, because they see a billionaire probably who's got better tax people behind him. So he's, instead of paying the 25% I pay, he's probably paying about 12%. And you guys hate him for that because he's a guy that's got enough financial wizards behind him to work the system. That's why everyone wants to see his tax returns, right? So you can pick on him even more based upon the money that he's saving in having the right tax people behind him to, if you want to call it, manipulate the system, which everyone thinks Trump manipulated the businesses behind him so he can pay less in taxes. But that's the way business works, is you take advantage of the opportunities that you have, which is why everybody hates people in the higher threshold of earnings, because you think we rip people off when we just take advantage, because we're smart and we know how to not rig the system. We know how to utilize the benefits that we can utilize to get our maximum threshold of income. That's what we've got going for us. All right, and you have the opportunity to do so as well if you improve in your performance, if you improve in your education, if you improve in your ability to progress in the business world. So let's just take, I said, the example of $60 an hour, $60 an hour that I make versus the $20 an hour that the average minimum salary person makes, all right? Now you want to distribute the wealth, so you want to tax me more heavily to redistribute the wealth. So you want to tax me, so instead of $60 an hour, I'm now making $35 an hour. To support the two people who are making $20 an hour, we're going to redistribute Dave's wealth. So instead of making 60, he's down at 35 an hour. So one of the other guys can make $35 an hour, and the other one makes $30 an hour. That's sort of a redistribution of the wealth on a flat surface, right? 35 for me, 35 for another guy, 30 for another guy. Close to balance, close to a redistribution of wealth. You got to think of a guy like me who's now was making $60 an hour. Now I'm making $35 an hour. What do you think I'm going to do at that point? Do you think I'm going to tolerate that? Or do you think I'm going to say, you know what, fuck this. I can retire based upon my Social Security that I can earn, based upon the monies that I've accumulated, based upon the pissed off attitudes that you guys have, that Dave made $60 an hour. You're pissed off at that, so you can think, oh my God, how much money can Dave save at that rate? I've got enough to save retirement plus the monies that I've earned and saved. I can afford to retire instead of have money ripped out of my pocket, stolen out of my pocket to redistribute the wealth. I'm going to say, screw it. I'm not going to work for 35 bucks an hour that you guys want to pay me because you're heavily taxing me to redistribute the wealth so that I make 35. The guy that was making 20 now makes 35. The guy making 20, the other guy makes 30. So 35 for me, 35 for the other guy, 30 for the other guy to redistribute the wealth. I don't want to participate in that. I drop out. You guys are all happy then because you think, okay, Dave's 60 bucks an hour and now can get redistributed. So that now we have 100 bucks to split between the two of us. 50 bucks for me, 50 bucks for the other guy, because it's a redistribution of wealth based upon what I was making, and Dave's no longer participating, so his money goes to us to redistribute it. But it's a redistribution of wealth. It's not the two people now, it's a wider conglomerate of people that are eating into that redistribution of wealth. So instead of two people, it's now 10 people. So where you think you've got that extra boatload of money because Dave was either going to commit to going from $60 an hour to $35 an hour, so we've got that extra 25 bucks to split between us, but now Dave dropped out altogether. Bully for us. It's great for us because we get all of Dave's money to redistribute among us, but the among us is a larger amount of among us. So instead of the two people making 50 bucks an hour, it's 10 people making 10 bucks an hour. So your redistribution of wealth is a total and complete fuck up, because as your older generation of people are intolerant of your redistribution of wealth formula, we are going to rebel and we're going to say, you know what, screw it. If you young guys want to, who have no work ethic, if you want to eat away at my hard-earned income that I work to become a senior level at what I do, worth the extra money that I'm making because people value me as a professional, so they're going to pay me as a professional. If you guys are going to rip me off by taking money out of me, heavily taxing me to support your redistribution of wealth, the people that are seniors are going to say, screw it. I'm not going to work for that. I'm worth a lot more because we have pride in our workmanship. We have pride in what we do. We're going to drop out of your rat race and let you guys linger with the monies that you think you've got, which you no longer have because the distribution channel is a lot more widely distributed. So if you think you're going to win in this liberal agenda of redistributing the wealth for your free healthcare, for your free college, for your freebies across the board, you're not going to be successful at this because the people that you consider rich, who you want to eat away at their income that they worked hard to accumulate, the desire to be paid at that level because we're true professionals, we're not going to work at that amateur rate of money. We're going to drop out and we're going to leave you guys to fend for yourselves. So we're for all of you liberals that think your redistribution of wealth is going to work to your benefit, it's going to work opposite of your benefit. It's going to work to your detriment. And it will. Now, and just another thing for you guys. Don't you guys have any incentive or desire to work in a competitive environment? Instead of being paid on a flat scale of redistributed wealth where everyone makes a certain amount of a plateau and you're stuck there and everyone's stuck there equally, don't you want to be the competitive person who can compete, who can move up to a higher level of desire to be hired and be paid more because you worked hard? You worked hard to achieve more. You started out in the ground floor. You started out, as a lot of people I said, people in Trenton, as I walk by the areas in Trenton or drive by, I wouldn't dare walk past buildings in Trenton, New Jersey, but I said that they're all out there complaining that they're not making money. They're all sitting on their asses on the front doorstep. If they started off, because you cannot move up the ladder by jumping up 10 rungs of that ladder to reach that 10 tiers of success. You've got to start off at the bottom tier and work your way up, just like I did. You think I started out as a project manager making $60 or $88 an hour? Absolutely not. I started out at General Electric in Philadelphia making, well, not that great money, better than minimum wage, but not that great in comparison to what I've achieved over all these decades of years to reach the level of achievement and success that I've earned. I'm not entitled to it. I've earned those successes. So you've got to earn those successes. So everyone that says, "Oh, I'm living in Trenton. I've got a house that's worth $26,000," and I'm, what you got to start off with is you got to work from the bottom up. You got to start sweeping your street. It's funny because my wife says that her mother, living in Tokyo, used to go out into the street and clean up the street in front of her house. Can you believe that? Do you see any Americans doing that? Going out to preserve the property value and the look and feel, what do they call it? Curb appeal. That's what real estate agents call it. That she worked the curb appeal of her Tokyo home by cleaning the street and making that part of her home and the street in front of it attractive. Do you ever see anyone in America doing that, actually cleaning the street in front of their houses? There's leaves there. There may be a cigarette butt. There might be a beer can there. It might be a soda can. Might be a crushed container of slush from 7-Eleven. Do you ever see them picking up in front of their house? No, they will complain that their house values are worth $26,000 because they're held back by society, when if you make the effort to take your opportunity as is presented to you and work up to higher levels of success by starting off with small steps. You clean up the front of your house values look great, your house looks great, your neighbor's house looks great, the block looks great, your house pops up from $28,000 to $32,000 because it's a great neighborhood to live in and participate in purchasing homes, and everything starts improving for you at a gradual pace to the degree that everything around you starts to progress and you start to work up to rung number 2 on the ladder, rung number 2.5, rung number 3, rung number 3.5. Then you drop down to 3 again, but you're going to pop up to 4. You're going to have the growth that you want to have based upon an economy that is not based upon the liberal agenda of redistributing the wealth, because you are now competing to improve your life, your family's life, the family of lives that are going to come after you, and the people amongst you as your peers. You're going to progress and you're going to improve your life. You're going to improve the life of people in America, and you're going to have pride in your workmanship rather than just having the redistribution of wealth so that everyone lives in the same plateau of flatness, of a lack of success that the liberals want to protrude upon you. Is that what you want? Do you want to be satisfied, or do you want to succeed? There's two words with the letter S. Do you want to be satisfied, or do you want to succeed? That's the question that conservatives will ask you. That is the exact question that we have for you. Are you satisfied being in 12th place in that race in high school where you received an award for being 12th, and you're satisfied with that because you get to put that, bring it to your parents, and you get to put it on your mantle when you get older? You got your house, you put your 7th grade trophy of taking in 12th place, or do you have the incentive of working up to be 12th, 11th, 9th, 7th, and becoming the number 1 in your school or number 2 in your school for being one of the best in track? Are you satisfied with being 12th? Or do you want to improve yourself, improve your performance, improve your abilities to be more successful in life by taking on the responsibility to actually be successful in life? That is the difference between conservatives and liberals. That is the difference of supporting a liberal prick-elect reject Biden versus someone who wanted to make America great again. Now you've got a president there that as soon as the economy starts to get a little bit better, he's going to take full responsibility of a successful economy that is not his economy to be rebuilt. I don't see the liberal agenda as being an agenda that I want to participate in, and I won't participate in it. So if your agenda is to redistribute the wealth, and if my taxes are hit where my income is going to drop from $60 an hour, or my current $88 an hour as a consultant, to less than that to support a flat economy of a redistributed wealth, I am going to drop out and leave you guys to fend for yourself, because I do not want my hard-earned value that's put in me by my employers, my people that hire me as a consultant. I don't want to disrespect myself, and I will not disrespect myself. I will not disrespect the peers that work with me who value their work, their work ethic. I will not deviate from myself to support you guys who just want to be entitled to what I've got because of your jealousy for older generations that are the people that have built the strong America based upon the hard work that they put in. We will not support the people that have no intention of putting in the hard work to achieve, but will only work against the entitlement attitude that they've got in their lives. That's all I've got. Let me see if anyone makes any comments. Soapbox debris. You know what? Phil Emerson. You know what? I got to say, Phil, if you're someone that does not agree with this and you're someone that does not agree with me, then you know what? Live the life that you're living right now, satisfied with your Hyundai or your Kia or your mobile home that you're living in, or satisfied with earning a little bit better than that to be at the next level. Don't you want to achieve beyond that? Don't you want to achieve beyond that? Not necessarily to compete with your neighbor, but just to have a better lifestyle where maybe you and your wife your dream is to go to Italy. And you want to go to Italy. How do you do that? You've got to have a degree of financial ability to do that. Do you want to travel to Italy? Don't you want to have an opportunity to enjoy that? To be able to go out to restaurants at a high-class place where you can enjoy some really tasty food and you can stay at a really nice kind of resort place. Is it selfish to want that? It seems like the liberals think it's selfish to want that, to achieve the ability to earn that. You guys just want to achieve the ability to be entitled to that based upon taking money from the people that have earned it and bringing it down to the people that believe they're entitled to it. That is the root difference between liberals and conservatives, is that we have no problem, we have no guilt for what we've earned. What the liberals have is a jealousy upon the people that have earned it based upon their desire to be entitled to it. That is the clear and precise difference between a Phil and a Dave Darren. That is the exact difference. And it's funny, Barry D says, vacuum your streets, folks. You know what? You think that's a stupid thing to do? You go through neighborhoods like I do. When I was working in New Jersey, in Trenton, New Jersey, I did not dare to attempt to live in Trenton, New Jersey during the time I was consulting in Trenton, New Jersey. I got the hell out of there every night. As soon as I was able to get out of there, my wheels of my car spun to get out of Trenton, New Jersey, the most dangerous capital city in the country back then. I have no idea about now. It was the most dangerous capital city in the country. You drive through, you see people that take no pride in home ownership. You see homes with graffiti all over them. There was a graveyard close to the New Jersey building I was working in. There was a graveyard. You know what? The tombstones in that graveyard, some of them were from like the 1700s and the 1800s. They were vandalized. They were kicked over, if you can believe that. There were people in that neighborhood who just felt like vandalizing Trenton, New Jersey. They went to that graveyard and they tipped over some of the stones, or of course, because people in the 17 and 1800s, they're big tombstones. You can imagine, right? The big tombstones where you couldn't even read the names of the people that are on it because the tombstones were that old. You couldn't read the name or the date that the person was born. You couldn't read the name, and now you can't read them because they were knocked over by people jealous of a cemetery with tombstones that cost a boatload of money at the time when they were buried. Jealousy and destruction of that neighborhood, including that gravesite, the graveyard, it was unbelievable. I walked past it and I thought, oh my God, there's vandalism here. Rather than trying to maintain your property, make your lives better, make your neighborhoods better, a complete lack of interest in doing so. Yet there's complete complaining about the economy in that neighborhood. Total and complete complaining with no attempt to make it a better place to live. So when Barry's over here making fun of vacuum your streets, you know what? If you're making fun of it, then you're a type of person who's satisfied living in a street where it's not clean. It doesn't make any sense to me that you would not make an effort to make your neighborhood better, safer. People want to buy there. They want to pay more money for your home. You may joke about it, but if you're going to joke about it, you're a total and complete idiot. It's on a total reverse of the agenda that I've got going for me. You're on an agenda of failure. I'm on an agenda of success. And you hate people that earn success based upon your desire to entitle to success. That's all I got. That's all I got for tonight. It's just to say the liberal agenda is a failure. If you want to live in a liberal agenda, you're going to suffer for it because people that are not living in your agenda are going to drop off and let you guys fend for yourselves. That's all I got. Anyone else say anything here? People who damage monuments are criminals. Phil says that. I will say this, you're right. However, how much vandalism took place from Black Lives Matter terrorists? And I've called the Black Lives Matter people terrorists. And here's exactly why. Because you will hear people defending Black Lives Matter by saying Black Lives Matter demonstrators were peaceful. The people amongst them that were terrorists and criminals were not amongst Black Lives Matter. But here's where I got to say it's different than that. Look at the leaders of Black Lives Matter. Have you ever seen a leader of Black Lives Matter denouncing the terrorist faction within their group, saying that we denounce them? No, you don't. If you do not denounce them, you welcome them into your group with open arms. If you do not denounce them, you're welcoming them. Black Lives Matter, what was their slogan? No justice, no peace. I've said this before. What's the opposite of peace? War and terror. That's what I see Black Lives Matter as a being. So when you say people who damage monuments are criminals, how about the people that damage buildings? Don't we call them criminals? No, we let Black Lives Matter do that. We let them burn down buildings. We let them terrorize business owners in those places to conduct businesses, to build better lives for their families, for themselves, We let those buildings get burnt down and those businesses destroyed. And we let that happen in honor of Black Lives Matter, in honor of George Floyd, who served time in jail as a criminal for holding a pregnant woman at gunpoint to rob that woman and her family. But yet we honor Black Lives Matter, we honor George Floyd, and if anyone says anything opposite of that, we are blocked because we are disrespectful of people that deserve respect, and I don't believe they deserve respect. Candace Owens, who is a black individual who condemns Black Lives Matter and the honoring of George Floyd, people don't agree with her, and she's part of the black race that says we are honoring the worst people within our race when we should be honoring the better people. We honor the Kardashians. Unbelievable the way we have turned society into heroes of the wrong type of people. Unbelievable. So that's all I've got. Now I am going to hang up. I'm done. I'm done tonight for my soapbox, which is why do you call it soapbox debris? Do you consider what I say to be debris or shit? When you better consider what I say, because as you younger people take over the economies, you better decide how you're going to take over these economies. Because we, the baby boomers, which everyone hates people like me, we've been successful at it. Don't you? If you look at the baby boomers, you see that we are successful. How are you going to achieve a level of success based upon you thinking that you can take success from those that have achieved it and take that from our pockets and put it into yours? Well, what's going to happen is we're going to zipper up our pockets and leave your economy to you guys. You better have a strategy better than the one you've got, better than the president that you think you've got in your pocket. When that president is in your pocket to take the monies from your pocket, you're not going to benefit from a Biden leadership. You're going to fail with a failed president. And if you don't believe me, see in 4 years what happens, the destruction that you're going to have in your lives based upon your failed president and the people like me who are going to drop out of supporting your president and your economic attempts to rip us off. You're going to suffer for this. And that is going to be the ultimate, you think about people that want revenge. Us, we want revenge upon what's going on in America. We are going to have the ultimate revenge when, as we approach the end of our lives, I'm 62, as we approach the end of our lives, we're going to see the devastation that you've created from this point going forward. We're going to see the devastation and the trauma that you're building and the economic failure that you're building. We're going to look at you guys and we're going to say, we told you so. You may not remember that Dave Darren told you this, but you'll remember some idiot that you saw on the internet that has 2 viewers tonight. You're going to see that this guy was a little bit sensible. We've screwed up, and he warned us. And I'm going to be sitting there on my gravestone that you're going to knock over and trip over and kick down. I'm going to still be able to look from that gravestone up above and say, you know what? You guys got what you deserved. You've got what you asked for. You got what you deserve. You got what you planned. That's all I got to say. Finally, I'm going to hang up. That's all I got. Cheers, guys.